welcome to another FAQ Monday. I'm your host, Fluff, and today I'm drinking ugly water. Y'all ever heard of ugly water? I don't know if it'll, there it goes. They make a variety of things. That make a cherry cola, seltzer water, no calories, no sugar, no nothing. This is their fruit punch. This is basically like a Hawaiian punch version of sparkling water. No calories, no sugar, no nothing. It's delicious. And I buy a lot of it. Anyway, we're not here to talk about sparkling water varieties. What's your favorite pickup that not only does it for you tone-wise, but also feels right? I have had many favorites, however, feel is everything for me as far as attack, headroom, with volume backed off, and of course how it responds with high gain. Thank you, Fluff. Been inspired by your channel for many years. Brother, keep up the killer content. Emoji. Thank you, Angry Tones Riff Clips, for your question. That's a good question. I've been experimenting heavily with pickups. I've been really trying to learn the proper gain staging for dragged under stuff and my rig, meaning, you know, going into the helix, is it more efficient or does it sound and feel better if I have a lower output pickup and then internally use more of the overdrive into the amplifier to get the gain or the tone that I want and the feel that I want, versus a hotter pickup and not as much overdrive and not as much gain on the amplifier? Like, you know, finding that balance of what component of the signal chain is going to be doing the heavy lifting. And the conclusion that I have found, at least for my band's music, is a hotter output pickup is gonna be the answer. Hitting the front end of the helix does more for the feel and tone than a lower output pickup from the music that I play. And something that I've been really experimenting with is having a super hot output pickup, but lowering it down not close to the strings and letting it kind of breathe a little bit to get that feel that I like. So to answer your question, it's kind of a two-part question, or a two-part answer. The pickup that I find has been the best overall pickup for me as of the last 2 months has been the Fishman Devin Townsend pickup, because that is a dual voiced pickup. So I can have the super mega hot thing and then I can pull it to voice 2 and get a super vintagey paffy thing. And for me, that's very important to be able to just have a variety in any of my live guitars and my studio guitars and things like that. Now, having said that, I'm probably not supposed to tell anybody this, but whatever, I don't care. I am working on a signature set with Fishman for my own stuff. And I can't tell you anything about it. However, it is going to be my dream pickup as I would have it. And it's gonna be a combination of all of those things, and it's gonna be multi-voiced, and it's gonna have one extreme and the other for any situation, and it's gonna be super, super cool. So to answer your question, technically, my signature Fishman pickup is gonna be my absolute favorite go-to pickup. You'll see. More info later. Favorite of the 808 custom models and why? Andy, thank you so much for your question. So you're referring to, I assume, the Maxon OD808 custom mods to celebrate the 40th anniversary of the Maxon OD808 Overdrive. I did a shootout. I really like them all. However, I still go with the regular 40th anniversary Maxon OD808, as well as the Pictronics and the Earthquaker devices are really good as well. However, if I had to choose just one, it would be the 40th anniversary Maxon OD808. It's a little crisper in the attack, not as fizzy and crunchy as the other ones as well. I like the amount of gain it has too, because it's a little robust, but it's not as crazy gained out as the Keeley, for example. So if I had to choose one of the anniversary Maxon OD808s, I would choose the 40th anniversary one. In light of Apple's new iPad Pros with the M1 chip, what are your thoughts on iPads for recording? If you could use your DAW and interface on an iPad, would you try it? Being able to draw in automation with the pencil would be great. Yes, I agree, it would be great. The limitation for actual recording on an iPad Pro is going to be iOS itself. It's not going to be the processing power needed. It's going to be the ecosystem. It's going to be the iOS. iOS is not capable of, or iPad OS or whatever they call it now, is not capable of, doing multi-track recording yet, like we want to do it in a full desktop situation. I know you can record on an iPad, I know. Before you leave me comments, I know, but in the traditional sense of like, oh, I'm gonna put this plugin on this thing and draw in this automation, you can't do that right now. What I'm hoping for is a combination of that and something like Final Cut Pro on the iPad. So when I am traveling and need to edit videos, I can whip out my iPad with my M1 chip and edit a full tilt video. And I know there's like stuff like, LumaFusion to edit videos on the iPad currently, but I'm talking about a full tilt Final Cut Pro because right now we can run 4K video and edit them in LumaFusion. So I can't help but think all of that stuff is coming because the M1 chip in the iPad Pro just makes sense, but they're also not going to sell themselves short and sell themselves out of someone buying a MacBook. So do I think that'll happen on the audio side? Probably not. Video side, fingers crossed. Are you a Celestion guy? I would consider myself a Celestion guy. I like anything that sounds good. The reason why I use Celestions on the channel is because, they're so common and popular that everyone's gonna know what a vintage 30 generally sounds like, right? So if I'm using some weird custom speaker, people are gonna be like, yeah, but what does that sound like in relation to this pedal demo that I'm hearing? So that is why someone like me has to use popular and common speakers. However, I do really want to try the Eminence DV77 speakers, the Mick Thompson signature speakers, but yeah, I think for the most part, Celestion just really does it for me. The variety is right there, and I just recently put in a Creamback 65 with my vintage 30 equipped Mesa Boogie Vertical 212, and it sounds mwah. So yeah, I guess you could call me a Celestion guy. Would you ever consider streaming a live ridiculous reverb listings? I actually never thought about that. I would consider that. How would I It would probably be pretty good. I could do that. I could maybe have people submit some in real time, maybe. I don't know how that would work. Leave me your thoughts down below. I had never considered that, honestly. A live ridiculous reverb video. That could be cool. Could also be a disaster. The amount of angry sellers that message me, oh man. I would, I will look into that. Good question. And last but not least, Nick wants to know, where's that Epiphone love? Even Stay Metal Ray is an Epiphone guy these days. You know what? Epiphones are cool. No discrimination against Epiphones. I do want to try the new ones with the inspired by Gibson headstock. Those look sick. My problem with Epiphones has always been they didn't feel right. If I pick up a Les Paul, I don't want it to weigh 5 pounds. Epiphones are so crazy light. And for me, that doesn't sound great a lot of the time. So, I don't know, their overall feel has always left something to be desired. However, I love what Epiphone are doing now, and I will have to revisit the Epiphone thing for sure. I will definitely look into that, promise. And that does it for this episode of FAQ Monday. If you have a question, feel free to leave one down below or go on over to my Twitter where it's a wonderful, wonderful place to interact with people. And we'll get you squared away with your question in a future episode, maybe. Fluff out. If you liked the video you just watched, please consider subscribing. And if you want to further support me and what I do, consider using some of the affiliate links down below in the description of this video. Go on over to Sweetwater, buy yourself something, and help me out at the same time. It's a win-win for both of us.